Hello. Okay, so here's the situation. We have a snow day today. It's a Wednesday. I'm going to be away this weekend, and so one of the things that I just randomly thought of doing and then making a video of was basically reading different places in my apartment because it's a snow day, but then kind of tidying that area before I read in it. So yeah, that's what this video is going to be, is me tidying an area and then reading in that area for a bit and telling you what I get up to reading wise. So if that sounds weird and interesting to you, then you should keep watching. Okay, first area. It's my favorite, my couch. But as you can see, it needs a bit of a tidy up and a little bit more than that, because in this box is a new like hammock situation for my bedroom swing, and so that needs to get set up. Okay, let me get this sorted. You guys, that feels way better. Anyway, few things. One, this is fake. I'm just like trying it on to see if I feel like I would look good with a septum piercing or not. Like, I just didn't want to like go full in until I decide if it looks good on my nose or not. And also, yeah, anyway. So undecided. But I want to show you what I'm reading. So basically, a lot has happened, and apparently I'm writing a memoir. It is going to be a memoir and essays, and so I was thinking back to this interview, or this lecture, I guess, that I heard from Ray Bradbury, and I will link it below. It's quite old, but one of the things he said is that you need to basically fill your diet with like good literature every single day, and he said that if you're trying to write a novel, you should start with short stories, and you should read one short story, one poem, one essay a night. Cool. Okay, I understand all his thinking behind that, but I'm not writing short stories or fiction. I'm writing nonfiction. So I kind of switched it up, and I am trying to read one poem a day or more, usually more because they're short. And I've been reading from Mary Oliver because this is one of her collections that I haven't gotten to yet. And also she is fiercely lesbian, into nature, all the things that I am here for. And then one book of essays. I purchased this a long time ago, but I'm really loving it so far, and it's called How to Read Now by Elaine Castillo. So I will let you know how this goes. And then finally, I am reading one chapter from a memoir every day, or sometimes more, and I am reading What My Bones Know by Stephanie Fu. This one, I would really like to sit down and read more. So right now, while I'm reading, I'm going to decide between reading this one or the book of essays, or maybe a bit from both. The only thing is that this one brings up so many thoughts from my personal life that I really just want to like soak it in and think about it. I don't want to race through this, but also like I'm into it, so I do want to race through it. So yeah, we'll see what happens today, because it's kind of this fine line of deciding how much I can handle and how much thought I need to do based on my own experiences. next up is this, which will only take about 2 seconds. I want to read in my rocking chair with my new reading blanket, but also I'm gonna have lunch right now. So I'm gonna clear off the table, which will take like 2 seconds, like I said, and then I will eat lunch and then read for a little bit in the rocking chair. Hello everyone. Okay, so I thought I would do a quick update of what I have read so far today, basically, and also what I've cleaned. So I guess my living room, my dining room, and my kitchen are clean. The dishwasher is going, so I apologize for the background noise. Like, I should have thought of that before I started filming. Anyway, the two books I've read some poetry before I started this, but the other two books that I read were What My Bones Know by Stephanie Foe. So situation with this book, I read up to chapter 4 today. That's what I'm on right now, is chapter 4. And this book is really good. I definitely want to keep reading it. But what I'm noticing is that basically my trauma background, I guess, has not been impacting me very much lately in the same way that it used to. And I think that's for a variety of reasons. But when I am reading this book, there's memories that I haven't thought of in a long time that like come back to me because I'm deeply connecting with the stuff that Stephanie is talking about. So yeah, if you have a trauma history and are reading this book, I would just say be really gentle and cautious about it. So for me, like nothing major so far, but definitely things that I'm writing down that I want to talk to my therapist about, and different things that are making more sense. Like after I read this and journal about them, I'm like, oh, interesting. Is that why that happened? Like, it's not that the book is like, there's been two, I guess, big light bulb moments for me, and the book hasn't mentioned either. They've just brought those ideas to my head of like the starting event, I guess. And then when I'm like revisiting them in my own life, then I'm like, oh, okay, I think I see why this is the way it is, and let me go to therapy. So anyway, I'll keep reading this, but I'm not gonna fly through it just because of the emotional impact that it will have on me. And then the other book I'm reading, which is really nice as well, is How to Read Now by Elaine Castillo. Anyway, I read the first essay. She has like a little introduction, and I read that before, but this is the official first essay, and it is kind of on white supremacy, at least initially, and then kind of moves on to other topics. So basically, it was a really interesting take on white supremacy, because the author is saying like, okay, there's all these white people out there that feel like, oh, they need to read more diversely and they need to be educated, and like, oh, they just didn't know, and now they're becoming more aware of things that they didn't know before and all that. And she's like, okay, yeah, that's a bunch of crap. Basically, she said most people are vastly overeducated in white supremacy, in patriarchy, and heteronormativity. So you can't blame things on ignorance. part of our culture and the water we're swimming in is being overeducated in certain areas. And basically it's our responsibility to expose ourselves to other opinions, but without those authors, without us putting the weight on those authors to like educate us. Like, and then here's a section that I underlined. When I say white supremacy makes for terrible readers, I mean that white supremacy is, among its myriad ills, a formative collection of fundamentally shitty reading techniques that impoverishes you as a reader, a thinker, and a feeling person. It's an education that promises that whole swaths of the world and their liveliness will be diminished in meaning to you. And then she says later that basically like its goals are like to prevent you from reading, full stop, or to prevent you from reading anyone that lives differently than you, and to basically not consider them to be actual human beings. And then she talks about how we expect like writers of color and queer writers and any sort of minority writer to like do the work for us and educate us, when like, let's just be exposed to these stories, like without this lens of, oh, I need to be educated, I need to like improve my knowledge of different cultures and stuff. Like, just read the stories, just soak it up. She kind of moves into talking about her own reading background, which was heavily influenced by her father, and about how reading can't be separated from class. So how class and power impact what books you're exposed to, which books you read, which books you have access to. And then she talks about how there's like educational neglect by her going to a private Catholic school, and about like what books are selected by those in power at your school, and about how that impacts you as a person. And basically because she had a poor education at her private Catholic school, even though it was supposed to be elitist and stuff like that, it gave less emphasis to the books that she was assigned in class to read, the ones by white straight men basically. And so it allowed her to be more heavily influenced by her dad and the books that they read together. And she talks about the way that reading was taught in the Catholic school as just an incurious way of approaching the world. So like there's so many people that read that read classics by white authors, and they just read about it in an incurious way, like, oh, this is a classic, and I'm just gonna read it, rather than like really questioning the things in it. And of course not everyone's like that, but that's kind of some of the things that she's talking about. She emphasizes reading loads across borders and reading in translation. And I really like how she summarizes the practice of reading with her dad. She says, our practice taught me most of all to read like a free, mysterious person who is encountering free, mysterious things, to value the profound privacy and irregularity of my own thinking, to spend time in my head and the heads of others, to see myself shimmer in many worlds, to let my many worlds shimmer lively in me. Yeah, so that was that essay. I'm really excited to read the rest of this because I'm really enjoying it. But again, not a book to rush through. So I think I kind of have two books going right now just for funsies. One is Atmosphere, which deeply, deeply impacted me. I read it recently. I don't like reading the stuff that everybody is reading. I enjoy reading what some of my Booktube friends have read, but just like the general population reading what they read, like, no thank you. And so I was really hesitant about Atmosphere until like a million people recommended it, and it blew me away. It might be my favorite book of the year, and I am instantly rereading it and annotating the shit out of it. And then there is a horror book from Book of the Month, like The Dark Sisters or something like that, that I am also reading, but I'm not very far into. I think my priority is to really get through Atmosphere again because I am doing a little project with it. Okay, anyway, I'm gonna read more, clean my apartment more, relax more because most of my apartment is clean, and live my life on this beautiful snow day. I have like an hour until I leave for my massage, so I thought I would do a little update, just double checking what I have cleaned so far. Okay, so this area is still cleaned, although like the pillows are not super straight, but no one cares. This area is clean. Good, good, good. Life is good. The kitchen is clean, even though it doesn't look it. This is a pile of stuff that is charging. Books that I'm kind of in the middle of, that is drying, and these need to go in the dishwasher as soon as it is done with what is currently in it. Laundry is currently in progress, so I will keep working on that. My bathroom is decent, except for the laundry, which, as I said, I'm working on. So there are 2 places I can tackle next, and really that's all. I can tidy my bedroom, which really just has a few things. That pile of clothes I need hangers for, so that has to stay. I just have to make my bed, put away those clothes, put away those things, and open the curtains. Or this hot mess, which isn't as messy as it looks either, because that's cleaning supplies, stuff that needs to be returned, and a Goodwill pile. So I think I'm gonna clean my room so that it's nice and cozy when I get back from my massage. All right, so things are good now. It took like 5-6 minutes. It's not a deep clean, but that's not what I was going for today anyway, just a quick pickup, and yeah. So I'll show you my room, and then I'm going to read, I think, in my new hammock.